here is Donald Trump. Look, I don't know if Donald Trump will actually do this or not, but understand this is what his voters want. There is a significant cohort of his voters want this. And, part of the sense is that, like, you've got all these sort of like never Trumper or now not Trumper Republicans who are hoping that Trump goes away, that Harris beats him bad enough that the Republicans have a reinterpretation, a re-understanding of what they need to do to win in the future. And again, this is why there's no teaching the Democrats a lesson. There's no teaching the Republicans a lesson. That's not the way it works. The reason why Republicans are not going to change is because the vast majority of their voters, there's really, not a huge distinction between their base and their not their base, right? The vast majority of Republican voters want what Trump is promising here. And if they don't get it from Trump, they're going to want it from somebody else in the future. There's no Jeff Flake's not going to make a comeback with the Republicans after Donald Trump exits either the political arena or just the worldly arena. Here is him with Bradaramo. And I think she's like also going, we don't mean specifically. Well, yeah, sure I do.
Let's remember, you've got 50,000 Chinese nationals in this country in the last couple of years. Yeah. You have people on the terrorist watch list, 350 in the last couple of years. You've got, like you said, 13,000 murderers and 15,000 rapists. Right. What are you expecting? Joe Biden said he doesn't think it's going to be a peaceful election day.
Well, he doesn't have any idea what's happening in all fairness. He spends most of his day sleeping. I think the bigger problem is the enemy from within, not even the people that have come in and destroying our country. By the way, totally destroying our country. The towns, the villages, they're being inundated. But I don't think they're the problem in terms of election day. I think the bigger problem are the people from within. We have some very bad people. We have some sick people, radical left lunatics. And I think they're and it should be very easily handled by, if necessary, by National Guard, or if really necessary, by the military, because they can't let that happen.
Okay. So let's just be clear here, right? She lists off immigrants and foreign nationals, and he says, well, they're a problem, but they're not the real problem. The real problem is the radical leftists. I don't know how you can interpret that any other way, but let's watch Glenn Youngkin, the governor of Virginia, the future of the Republican Party, right? Youngkin is the one who is going to be the new face of the Republican Party. He was so successful on his parents' rights tour, which was really just a massive anti-trans program, essentially, and COVID denial tour, I guess. But here is Glenn Youngkin on with Jake Tapper. And Tapper apparently plays that clip for Youngkin, reads the transcript, and here is Youngkin's interpretation.
Had senior people from our national security apparatus say that there's 15,000 violent felons in the United States. They have no idea where they are. That is what I believe the president is referring to. I don't think that he's referring to elected people in America. But I'm
literally reading his quotes. I'm literally reading his quotes to you, and I played them earlier so you could hear that they were not made up by me. He's literally talking about, quote, radical left lunatics. And then one of those lunatics he mentioned was Congressman Adam Schiff. Criminals should be locked up. Migrants who are in this country illegally, who are violent, should be locked up and deported. I grant you all of that, and I am not denying that it's happening at all.
So
but I'm talking about Donald Trump saying that he wants to use the National Guard and the military to go after the left. That's what he's saying.
I don't believe that's what he's saying. But listen, you and I are going to argue about that. But I would suggest if you would also.
I played the quote and I read it to you.
If you would also
you
balance
can wish that he weren't saying that, but that's what he's saying.
Jake, all the time people are taking little snippets of content and turning it into a big narrative. I think exactly what he's concerned about, because I've heard him express it before, are the number of national security risks, violent criminals, and folks who are coming into this country where we don't know where they are, that are committing crimes and put people's safety at risk. And I do think that on the same balance, I think you should cover the fact that over the course of the last 3.5 years, there has been an unprecedented and unrestrained flow across our border, and it has put Americans' lives and so much of our livelihood at jeopardy. And I think that's a very important, clear reality that we have to face. You know, one of the things that's happened in Virginia is
He's
that
just letting
Friday,
him filibuster now.
The Justice Department sued Virginia for simply doing a very basic constitutionally.
Let me ask you about that.
Constitutionally authorized step, which is to make sure that non-citizens aren't on our voter roll.
Yeah, let me ask you about that, because I want to bring, because people might not be aware of it, so I want to give it. But before I do that, I just want to note, I was just reading you his quotes, and he was not talking about dangerous migrants in those quotes. Later, there were other quotes about those migrants, and he was saying that people children shouldn't even be sending their kids to school with the kids of migrants. But you don't want to accept those quotes. Let's move on to this other thing, because this is important.
I mean, go on, Sam. But like, it's just what Trump was repeating there is kind of just Project 2025, and that's what scares them, I think, a little bit. The purging of these radical leftists from the country. But Trump is here, like, he means the government. He means the government in that instance, which is a key tenet of Project 2025.
Yes, and also, you know, one of the questions you could ask is, what's this stuff about using the military?
Right.
Don't we have something called posse comitatus in this country? But, you know, I think, like, to a certain extent, again, the press is not even still, it's gotten better, but they still don't know how to react to non-Trump people lying to their faces. The media has not caught up with this phenomenon. In some ways, I don't know if they care or what. I mean, put that aside. They do not know how to deal with it. And, you know, at the very least, we've seen two examples today. New York Times, you know, refusing to sort of like in making a point of like, you're not answering the question. Let's just be clear of that. After you've gotten 4 chances at it, Tapper does the same thing. But at one point, there should be, like, if you know they're lying to you, like what? You should be consistently bringing this up. Like, how can we? Listen,
let's move on to this other
denied
thing.
reality, right? Like, okay, you and I disagree on whether at 1:04 p.m. in the Eastern in the afternoon, whether it's daytime or nighttime. We disagree on that. You say it's nighttime. I say it's daytime.
Yeah.
Let's go on to another topic that you can espouse on. I mean, at one point you have to say, like, why should anything you say now have any credibility when you so clearly are lying about this other thing?
It's because it's all a little bit of a choreographed. I mean, Youngkin knows he's.
How else are we going to fill the show?
Yeah, Youngkin knows he's gonna. There's a little bit of a symbiotic relationship too, where they understand that they're going to be criticized on this particular thing, and they have to run cover for Trump, who they know is insane. But it's all about, like, the media getting their licks in, but not really fundamentally going after the Republican Party project or conservatism more broadly.
This was going on back when Paul Ryan was talking about his dumb plans to, that austerity was going to help people, or telling, fabricated stories about some kid in school in Wisconsin who didn't want to get a free lunch because he preferred to have a brown bag lunch. All made up. The media at that, back then wouldn't even question it, but we're in a different era. Hopefully, maybe there'll be some improvement. I doubt it. All right, we're going to take a break, head into the so-called fun half of the program, wherein we will start off with what is going on in Gaza and in Lebanon and in this country in terms of a response. we'll see. Some of it may be, some of our interpretation may be wishful thinking, but we'll see. Just a reminder, it's your support that makes this show possible. You can become a member by going to jointhemajorityReport.com, wherein you become a member of the program. You help the show survive and thrive, and you get the free of commercials. And then you can also IM us via the app at majorityapp.com. We take all IMs. Sometimes we don't read yours because we get so many, but we don't screen them. We just roll down, and it's all catch as catch can. Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.